Welcome back. Beautiful day here. Today's actually Wednesday, and I made a quick presentation. As you can see down on the title below, Arman Tsarukyan is the champion that we need. As the UFC fan, and I'll be going down the details, the reason why he is the way he is, the things he has changed from the last year, and meaning from the way he started his career to where he is at. He is definitely a guy that we have to be appreciate what he has been doing. Here, my beautifully glorious presentation. Arman Tsarukyan, the champion that we need. Moving forward here, I wanted to highlight a couple of things. First of all, I want to go over his most important aspects and things that he has accomplished. And let me fix this here. Almost got this. Right here. Perfect. Arman Tsarukyan has a lot of major victories in his career, ranging from, and I kind of like have a lot of these here, which one of them is very noticeable, you could tell. Number one, his victories: Charles Oliveira, Beneil Dariush, Dan Hooker, Joaquim Silva, Damir Ismagulov, Gamrot, Joel Alvarez, Giogas, and Matt Frevola. These are high 9 ranked opponents that he has fought. 4 or 5 of them are actually not being in that rankings. However, his most notable wins being against Charles Oliveira, Dariush in the first round, Dan Hooker finishing in the second round, and then Gamrot, which, if you know, you know. If you go back and look at the fight, yes, Gamrot did technically win the fight, but I thought in my own hands that Arman actually won the fight. This is high level profile, and that Arman cannot be looked over. He is the number one best lightweight contender in the world, which leads me into here. The media. If you haven't really been paying attention to a lot of what's been going on, you understand that Arman has been literally on every platform you can imagine. On podcasts with former big YouTube stars like David Dobrik, on streams with Aiden Ross, made content with the MMA guru. He has been on multiple sides of interviews. He's been on a lot of other things as well, from submission grappling tournaments, Real American Folk Style. He has been putting his name out there, collabing heavy with the Studio Santos out of Jackson. I mean, for a long time, a lot of people didn't know who he was. He was a very slept contender. Now, unless you knew that this guy has potential to be champion. I found him out when I saw his fight against Gamrot. It was one of the best fights I've seen. And I thought Arman won that fight. I knew he had a bright future. 3 or 4 years down the road, look where he is at now. He is the Armenian Batman. He's a rich billionaire, right? He comes from a family, pretty much of money. And he has no really, if he could pursue anything else, he has that option. He could follow the business. Money for him is not everything. This is why I like him as a fighter, because he really does go on a show. I'm like, I want to be a champion. I want to trade everything that I have for that UFC gold. This dude is athletic. He is funny. He has charisma. Look at the videos he's done with Nina Drama. All right. A lot of people don't like her. Whatever it is. I like her. She's fun. I think the more marketing team should do more in the UFC than just have her kind of carrying it. But again, I digress. Arman has been putting this effort on trying to be the face of UFC in the lightweight division. The only problem is that I don't know, which we will cover. Well, I do know. I just will be covering it here in a bit. Moving on from the media, he is the true number one contender. What do I mean by this? I mean, literally, right now, they have him number 2 in the rankings because Justin Gaethje is the number 1 contender because he is the interim champion. But for the longest time, for a year, almost 2 years, he has been the number 1 contender. All right. He beat the guys like Charles Alvarez to earn that spot. All right. He fought against Manil Dariush, knocked him out. He fought against Dan Hooker to remain as the number 1 contender. All right. He's taking these fights that technically he shouldn't. And I know he's been sitting out for a long time. He was getting a lot of flack from the media, from MMA Guru, and a lot of these people kind of hating on him for it. But I don't blame him. Because one, honestly, this summer or earlier this month, it should have been him versus Justin or Patty for the interim belt. But they overlooked him because they wanted to push on Patty. But look what happened. It backfired. Arman should have been fighting for that belt. He would have beaten Justin, and he should have been fighting against Ilia Topuria, which I have here on the screen. This was the fight that we've all wanted to see. We want to see a true number 1 contender fight for the belt. We tried against Islam, but in this sense, it was his fault. Now, even though I'm defending him that he is still the number 1 contender, which he is, this is the problem that has been going to with UFC and Arman. As I have seen, there are 4 major events that has been causing Arman not to fight for the belt, which honestly, in a kind of weird way, it kind of even promotes him more to fight for the belt because he has been making news. A lot of things that has his name has been getting millions of views. Starting off first, the fail rematch. A year ago, in January, he was supposed to fight against Islam Makhachev for the second time. The first time Islam beat Arman pretty decisively. But in the last 24 hours, which he got a lot of hate, he ended up pulling out of the fight because he couldn't make weight because he had a back injury. Reality, no one really knows. I think he just couldn't make weight. But, yeah, doctors coming in. He has been dealing with a hernia problem. So that was strike 1 on his end. He had his opportunity. Lost it. Gained it back fighting against Manil. But this goes now to the second problem. That headbutt situation. So when he fought against Dan Hooker for the number 1 contender spot again, in the build-up the night before when they had the face-off, Arman headsbutt Dan Hooker. They really do not like each other, but Arman is someone who genuinely does cause a lot of problem. All right, he did headbutt Dan Hooker, and he did end up beating Dan Hooker. However, the problem was that he couldn't broke his nose. And Dana explicitly was pissed off because of it, and the people in that matchmaking, because you could have ruined in an event that was built upon you hopefully winning to fight for the belt. But because you pissed them off, they get, in the end of the day, you're not going to win against them. All right? They decide if you fight for the belt or not. And this leads now to the third problem. Dana White. Dana White really doesn't like Arman. We've seen it. It has been stated. Anytime something big in the news, asking a question about it, Dana does not look happy. He looks like he's kind of like in this situation where he's like, why are you bringing him up? All right. I don't want to talk about him. I don't even hear anything about him. They had a whole fiasco about situation. He even got pissed off in one of those recent events that was going on, but which I will get to it here in a minute. Dana White does not like Arman. And even though it's said that he doesn't do any of the matchmakings, at the end of the day, Dana White still has a big opinion, big voice on who's fighting who. And the most recent event, which probably has delayed his title fight even more, it was the RAF fight event against Giordo, the real American freestyle fighting. I won't even say fight. but it's a Real American Freestyle Wrestling, which he was faced against Giorno, which is a popular Instagram guy who's like, take me down for $1,000. It started off very aggressive on both sides. I'm not going to say that it was all Arman's fault. No. Giorno did definitely provoke it. There were some heavy slaps on there, pushing him off, doing things that are more aggressive and things that could have been, well, technically be illegal. So Arman ended up getting his get back by the end by pushing him off, doing a ground and pound and kneeing him to the face. And it's like, you're provoking a dude who is an MMA fighter, who has been historically known to not give a fuck, to go out there and fight people, start things, fight things. Like, how many times we've seen, like, even with this incident with Bobby Green, like, this guy isn't someone who is, not say gentleman-like, it's just he doesn't back down, right? Like, he is not someone who's just going to be a bystander in a situation. No, he's going to throw hands, and he knows he can, all right? He is a phenomenal fighter. A little temperament, a little hothead, but still. So with these four big major problems in the history he has, it's hard for us, especially as fans, that we want to see him as champion. It's hard for the UFC to push for him because of these incidents. But this is why he has to be the champion that we need. Because, one, he garners attention. He has controversy. People are always waiting for him to fight because of the recent trend he has been doing. A big comparison, I'm not saying that he is like Conor McGregor, but Conor McGregor became popular because of what? Right? His running with Khabib. When he threw that dolly on that bus, all right, he blew up. All right, how many times he has been pushing, messing around with the Nate Diaz and Jose Aldos before the fight? All right, his crazy antics outside of the UFC. Obviously, he has never failed to make a weight or to cause any problems with Dana White. But he has caused issues with the UFC with his name. But you know who else has caused failed matches, canceled cards, who had problems with Dana White, who caused a fight on literally days before the actual fight? John Jones. And John Jones is one of the most popular athletes. I mean, he, like Arman, all this stuff that's been going on, he is not the first one. John Jones has caused bigger headaches on Dana White from his hit and run situation, with his domestic violence situation happened on Las Vegas, with his drug bust, with his popping for steroids, with him pushing down Daniel Cormier out in the public and almost causing a canceled fight, which he also did cause a canceled event against Chael Sonnen, last minute replacement. I'm not saying anything here, but it's just like Arman fits the bills of to be like a superstar, like those guys who promote to be a champion. And this kind of leads to the end of my video. This guy, I like him. He's funny. He's crazy. He has a lot of potential to be a star. And from what I've seen and moving on forward, I think he's a champion that we deserve. And UFC needs to get him that title shot. Hopefully we get to see something sometime soon. We understand that Ilya's fighting Justin in the White House, more than likely. And whoever wins that, Arman has to fight them next. That is just, you can't have him wait any longer. I don't know who else would he fight. He's already fought anybody in the top 5. He already fought 2 people below him. So it's just kind of unfair. But hey, life isn't fair anyways. But I do thank you for watching this video. Me going over my opinions of him. See y'all next time. Peace.